about shades of color? In particular when greens and blues and reds come up. The panel on the right can produce 25,000 shades of any color versus this would only be able to produce 8,000 shades of any color. So we made huge steps. And what that is our new technology we're calling Neoplasma Black 2500. It's a completely new drive system in our plasmas because we've redesigned them from the ground up. So instead of quoting hertz and contrast this year, you're going to hear that term Neoplasma Black 2500 from us. In the past, we were quoting 600 hertz panels. Well, now we're dramatically faster than that. We're not even going to put that number out there. So what the 2500 number means and why it's important is how fast it takes for our panel to go from off to on inside on the plasma cells. It's 1/2500th of a second to ignite. And so it's the fastest panel we've ever created. So what that means to you is unbelievably crisp, pure motion. When it comes to black levels, we can shut off all the pixels around a particular area and create this intense black like you're seeing over here around that bright white. So we're going to deliver a very efficient TV because of that. So we've pulled energy consumption down by about 40% over last year as well. So instead of our 65-inch costing $32 a year to operate, it'll be around $24 a year to operate, $22 a year to operate, somewhere in that realm. So it'll be very, very energy efficient. See the difference in the red? And when this blue comes up, it's going to be so intense for you guys standing in front of it, it's going to be bright. And that's something we've changed from last year. That also goes along with our new gradation step. So I was telling you we can create 24,000 shades of color. We can also now produce an infinite contrast, meaning it's immeasurable on a contrast or light meter. And part of that infinite black ultra that you see up there on the contrast scale, what that means is we've got a new filter on here on top of the innovations for picture that will absorb light in a bright environment, have a UV coating similar to what our glasses offer, and then have a filter behind the glass we're calling the louver filter. It acts like a baseball cap to block overhead light. And with the panel being brighter, more light is coming from the panel as well. So if you go out there and walk the floor, when you see our VT panel, the top line plasma next to our WT LED, they both look about the same brightness. Okay, so we're really going to have that advantage going for us. So you see a big difference now, especially on the red is where the difference is really noticeable. So that's going to be a big deal for us. And when you put it in the cinema mode, it's even more dramatic. These are all in vivid. There's no smoke and mirrors here. This is all factory settings. The next step we've taken is developing a new sound system. Because you all own a flat panel TV, I'm going to guess, because pretty much everybody has at least one now. That sound is fantastic in those things. They're great. So we know how bad it is, and the reason for that is everybody wants a thin TV, and the first thing you lose when you go thin is sound. Because what happens, you either get with a really teeny tiny speaker, or you get what most manufacturers have done is the speaker that fires straight down, and hopes you have some furniture there to bounce back at you. What fires off the wall, and hopes you have the panel mounted to the wall. Well, our speakers in 2011 were down front fired, and they shot downward but were projected towards you. Well, that made a decent sound, and we still use the full-size driver, but this year we've gone to a much slimmer design. We're only an inch thick all the way around almost every one of our panels. So what we've done is redesigned the speaker to what we're calling the 8-train 3D real sound system. And what that is each left and right speaker is made up of 8 individual ribbon drivers inside a horn-loaded cone. So what that does, instead of projecting down, it sounds like the sound is coming from all around the panel, in particular in the middle of the TV. So I'm going to do a demo here right now. I want you to listen. You're going to hear 10 seconds here and 10 seconds here. Those of you guys from about here over, you're just going to hear kind of a lifted, not so flat sound like you're hearing here. But if you're in front of the panel, you're going to hear sound coming from all around. There's also a subwoofer inside this panel as well. So let me start the demo. Just kind of give it a go. You'll hear 10 seconds here and it'll flip over that way. So that's our focus for 2011, 2012 now in plasma products. So you can see we made big innovations in picture and sound and ecologically friendly too. You'll see some really cool demos for that out there.